Geno Pettis Adventures. I'm still Geno, still my adventures, and look who we got today. How's it going, Miss Cat?
It's going okay. Could be better. I could be in
Well,
Colombia.
give me the scoop. What's up? What are you doing? Where are you?
Well,
What
I'm living
happened?
in Ecuador, and I chose to buy a place here in Ecuador that, I mean, can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I chose to buy a place in Vilcabamba because the climate is perfect. It's 6,000 feet high, so it's every day
Hmm.
is exactly the same climate. You're never too hot, you're never too cold. But there's a lot of white people, and because of that, there's a lot of crime. And
Oh
I did
wow,
take some
really?
pictures to send to you to put on this link about what you have to do here for the crime. It's crazy, and
Well,
yeah,
what do you have
it's
to do?
well, I have to have bars in my whole house. I have gates, fence, and concertina wire around my whole house, and a dog.
Holy moly, and a dog. And you have an alarm
And
system too? Uh,
I
Emergency
do.
button?
I'm having a panic button put in.
Okay, well, you might
Just
want to explain to them what a panic button is.
okay. What a panic button is I can push it if somebody's trying to get in my house, and
Uh-huh.
the light will flash, and
Hmm.
then a siren will go off, and then my neighbors, who I love my neighbors to death,
And
by
then
the
no
way,
one comes.
huh?
And then no one comes.
Nobody comes. No, it's just going to scare them off. The cops don't come.
Okay.
They don't have a car.
The cops don't have a car. They have
No,
motorcycles?
I think they have one, and then they just imported 10 new cops, but there's only one motorcycle, and they don't let them have bullets, so nobody has any bullets.
I'm sorry. They don't let them have bullets? What the?
No, I think they did recently. Naboa recently let them have bullets if they're in the areas like on the coast where the drug trade is really bad, like
Yeah.
in Manta and Ulan and Montanita, and they let them have bullets there, but they don't have bullets here.
But
And if
tell us
you
about the
call them,
crime.
they're like, sorry, we can't come. We don't have a car. We don't have gas. So you're like on your
Wow.
own.
What? So tell me about the crime.
All right, here's the crime. In a week, 2 week period, there was probably 4 or 5 home invasions. And they used to come like at 3 in the morning, and they'll kick in
Mhm.
your door, and they'll steal your computer and rough you up and steal your phone. And then just maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they invaded these people in a town not too far from here, 15, 20 minutes, Melcatos. And there was a 70-year-old couple, and they broke in their house at 6 o'clock at night. So they were just wrapping up in their yard, getting ready to go in, and they cut their electricity, so they didn't have any security systems. And they broke in and they beat them up.
Oh, that's
They,
horrible.
it's horrible. They sexually abused the woman, and yeah, and they it wasn't pretty what they did. And they partied there. It was like 6 of them. 2 of them were Argentinian, I think. And they stole everything they owned. They stole everything. Like their they had like a van come in, like like a truck, and they
Yeah.
loaded up their carpets and the refrigerator and all their food, and they took everything they owned. Well, after they beat him up, raped her, sodomized her, and tied them, like hog tied them. So it wasn't not a pretty thing. And these people were in their 70s, and they took everything. I
Wow.
don't know if they caught them. And then right after that, within 1 week, like 15 minutes from where I live, there was 2 other home invasions, and those were in the middle of the night, and they just stole people's computers and cell phones. And then from where I live, there's a place called Four Corners, and you can walk there like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And they broke into a guy's house there at 6 o'clock at night. He didn't have his doors locked, but he was also known to be a Bitcoin dealer. So they knew he had a safe, and they beat him up and they stole all his money.
Oh
So
wow. Well,
yeah, it's just,
so it's not exactly safe.
I'm sorry, what?
It's not safe.
No, and if you want to, and I'll send you the pictures I took from around my house, but when you got to live behind bars and have dogs and razor wire, why? And when I was in Colombia hanging out with you and your lovely bride, I never felt like this ever. Here, you just can't. And I love a lot of the people I met. I know them very well, but they live the same way, and they're like, you just get used to it. No, you don't. You
Oh,
shouldn't have to live like that. And in
well, then
Colombia,
you were
you
telling
don't.
me you were telling me the other day that you had taken a cab back from somewhere, and at the bottom of the hill you stopped and waited for the cab to drive off, so he wouldn't know you were going home.
I do that every time I catch a cab. I
That's
get out at
crazy.
the end of the street from where I'm at. There's my cat right there. I get off at the, sorry about that. I get off at the end of the street with all my stuff, and I wait for them to leave. And then I carry my stuff up and stash it behind a tree, and then carry it farther, and then carry it farther till I finally get all my stuff home. So you don't want people to know where you live.
So you can't just take a cab to your house.
You can, but then they go, oh, yeah, I know where this single old white lady lives. You don't want that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just not safe.
Wow. So tell me about your house.
Well, it's a nice house. It's actually 2 lots that I bought. It's a half acre. So I have a house and then I have a casita, and I've renovated both of them. And I paid closing costs, all that kind of crap, attorney fees, $250. But I've had to put
That's
$5
250,000 US dollars, which is the
That's not
equivalent
counting
of about a million, about a billion pesos in Colombia, which for a third of that you could have bought the same stuff.
Correct. Oh, that's not counting the 5,000 US dollars I had to put bars on the house
Wow.
for security.
Okay, so tell me about that whole experience. Buying
Well,
it.
that was an experience because I had to order up the bars, and then the guy, I'm not going to say his name, he took forever, and then I'm like, dude, I'm going back. I had to go back to the States for a while, and I'm like, you need to come out here and finish it. And he barely showed up in enough time to finish it, and then he didn't really even finish it. And then I had to go down and complain and get part of my money back because he didn't finish the whole job. So
Wow.
lesson learned. I
was actually talking about buying the house and that whole thing.
What do you mean?
And the people who you were telling me earlier about a company a real estate company that's, what's it called?
Abundant Living.
Abundant Living, that has got the whole prices jacked up there to the gringos. And
correct. It's Abundant Living. They have a website, and they're white guys from the States. They lived here a long time. They used to live in Loja. Now they live here. And I think some of them own property, but I think the rest of them rent. They don't even own themselves. Big mistake. Don't buy, rent. Rent till you're used to it, because
what did Geno tell you when you got to Colombia?
You told me to go rent a place.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and the whole thing with abundant living, the guys are nice.
I'm not trying to beat you up. I just want to make the point to these guys that watch me all the time. They think I'm blowing smoke up their skirts. I am not. They think I got some, and I'm gonna make money off of them somehow. And I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the difference, Geno. You don't have anything to sell but the truth. You tell people the truth. People like when they're selling relocation tours and they're selling real estate, they're not going to tell you the truth about the crime or what it cost or any of that. They're not going to tell you that. You tell the truth. And I should have listened closer to what you said to me. So, and as soon as I can get out of this hot mess, I'm going to go back to Colombia and hook up with you, because you have nothing to sell. You're just selling Colombia and how beautiful it is and how nice the people are. And they don't do that here. So I didn't buy from a realtor. I bought off of Facebook and through an attorney. So I paid a little bit more than I should have, I'm sure. But when you're white and you think, oh, that doesn't sound like very much. When you learn, it's a lot.
Yeah,
And
that's what I keep
people
trying
want,
to tell people. That you know, just okay, it's like, oh, the rent's only $1,000. Well, no, you you can rent the whole block for $1,000, you know. But
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think people need to look at, and I mentioned to this, I wrote it down actually, Vilcabamba underbelly. Go to
okay,
the Vilcabamba underbelly YouTube video, and it's going to tell you all about everything I just said. So you know I'm just not, blowing smoke. It's true.
okay, no, I mean I believe you. You've been calling me whining for a while now on how awful it is. So I thought we'd get a video up to show everybody what you know. I'm sure there's really nice places in Ecuador too, but not where you're at. I
No,
mean,
not
are
where I'm
you
at.
kidding? They
No.
probably had one invade. They had one invasion here in the last 5 years, and these two Venezuelans killed a coffee farmer and his wife. That's like 5 years ago, and that's the last time it happened.
Well, actually, just a couple of years ago, there was a break-in about 45 minutes from here, and they
Mm-hmm.
killed her husband and a couple other people. And it was some kind of inner deal anyways, but I watch other people, like I told you earlier, who have no dog in the fight here, and they tell you the truth, like Grumpy Gringo out of Manta.
Uh-huh.
He tells you the truth about the crime. He sits in his house and somebody got shot right out in front of his house, or in front of his
Holy
car.
moly!
Yeah, and there's the army's there patrolling because of the drug crime, and there's this other couple in Ulan, but they don't tell you the truth about what's really going on in Ulan, and they're invested there now. So yeah, Ecuador is too crime-ridden, and like I said, the only reason I got invested here too was because they're on the U.S. dollar, so you don't lose the exchange rate, and two, CDs pay 9.5%. But then also, which is all great, but you live behind bars.
Well, that's the rest of that story. Is that's the whole beauty of the Colombian peso and the dollar. We get more bang for our buck than than you do when you're on the dollar currency like Ecuador.
You're right. And the dollar currency here, I mean, it's like 4 to 1. If you were in the States, if you spent $4 on a loaf of bread, you're spending $1 here. But I mean, the cost has gone up.
Yeah, and in Colombia, you're spending 30 cents. You know,
You're correct. But you also have to take into consideration your bank fees and your exchange rate, and
yeah, but
and then
the
also the
whole point
visa.
I'm trying to make is that whole thing wrapped up in a ball. So you're still, I think you come out better doing the geo arbitrage thing than going to a place like Panama or Ecuador that's running on U.S. currency.
I wouldn't go to
That's just
Panama.
my personal opinion.
I lived in Panama. I would not. People go, oh, Buketti, Volcan. I'm like, if you want to live around white people and not be culturally involved, then go there. But
So
I
where,
would not.
Panama? Panama?
I lived in Panama. I wouldn't do it. I've lived here. I can't wait to get out. Colombia, I was comfortable. I was warm. And actually, the food is better. The food and the fruits and vegetables in Colombia are much better than they are here.
Oh,
Much
cool.
better. Yeah, because they
Yeah.
tell you here, oh yeah, go to the Saturday market, it's organic. I'm like, wait, what? How do you know it's organic? Well, they look at that. Well, who looks at that? I go on
Yeah.
Sunday and it's the same people. And it's
Well,
not.
that's just like here. The only reason it's organic here is because they don't have money for input. They don't have money for fertilizer. They don't have money for bug spray. They don't have money. And if they did,
Right.
it would be ruined just like it is in the States.
And I think the reason they call it organic here for the white people, but you can smell it. Like I bought green beans and you can smell the chemicals on them.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
not. And when I was living in Sand Hill, and the market that was down from the condo that you helped us find to live in,
Sure.
that stuff was amazing, and it was extremely inexpensive. Here it's expensive and it smells.
Well, I mean, I know where on the planet can you get an 80-pound bag of oranges for 10,000 pesos, which is about $2.50 for 10 pounds. I mean,
Yeah,
80
you can't.
pounds, excuse me, 80 pounds.
You can't do it here, but when I do go to the market and buy vegetables, everything's usually $1. Like a head of cabbage is $1, and all everything's $1. But which is expensive when you look at it. It's a lot more expensive than it is in Sand Hill.
Okay.
It's a lot more expensive, and it's not as clean. The food was cleaner there.
Okay. So you got any parting comments?
Any what?
Parting comments. We're coming to the end.
Parting comments. Yes, I would say you did. I should have listened to you.
Thank you.
That's my parting comment, and I didn't, and that was a huge mistake. Now I got to get out of this hot mess I'm in so I can come back and get a coffee banana farm with you and live
Cool.
clean.
Yeah, I called the plantation guy today. We're gonna see him Monday.
Oh, good. Good.
So.
And as soon as I can find somebody to stay here, I can sell this place or find somebody to stay here. Because if you leave your stuff, if you leave your place vacant and somebody moves in it, they get it.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, thank you so much. I know it's been a pain for you, but I really appreciate it because it is the first day of the rest of your life. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. But we'll see you where?
In Colombia.
On the flip side.
All right, bye, my friends.